All right. So your puppies, all right? Puppies can be very nippy. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, my puppy bit me, what should I do? That's what I'm going to talk to you about all today is when your puppy bites you, what you should do, why the puppies are biting and how to prevent it. So I'm not going to waste any time. I just want to jump right into it. So first and foremost, when we say that puppies are, when I hear that puppies are biting someone or things like that, you want to caution when you say biting and make sure because puppies ideally when you say biting they're really being mouthy, but of course they really could actually bite you and draw blood, but you want to be sure that the biting you talk about is actually biting where you see blood and they're breaking skin versus a puppy just being mouthy on your hand or play and stuff like that. So puppies in general, they can be mouthy or they can bite or just in general because they like to explore the environment as well as play with other dogs and humans. So you might see when you're playing with your dog, when you go to like pet them or things like that, or any type of interactions where you have to go in to them, they may start to get mouthy. And that's because everything is new to a puppy. You have to think they're not like seasoned in the world or anything like that. And so your hands are actually like a play toy and they don't have their mom there to their mom if you actually, got them from a breeder or rescue, whatever, to tell them that, hey, that's not appropriate. So it's up to us to do that. So ideally, when puppies are being mouthy and stuff, it's not that they're doing it on purpose or they may bite you by accident, which we'll get to in a second. But ideally, they're just doing it because it's part of their development and they're trying to explore the world. So thinking about the reasons why your puppy may bite or be a little bit mouthy. Remember, we're using the two different terms because they could actually bite or they could be a little bit mouthy. Sometimes puppies just get really excited or overstimulated and they may bite you by accident. So especially I hear this a lot when you're coming in from work and or wherever you're coming in from, you haven't seen your dog or your puppy all day and they get really, really overexcited. You go in to pet them and next it's like, ouch, you have a little scratch or they're being too over excited and mouthy. So they simply may be a little bit nippy or bite just by accident because they're overstimulated. As a result, like I said, you can feel a little bit of discomfort or pain when that happens. Another reason why puppies may bite is because they may feel threatened or scared. So, for instance, if they're meeting a new person or if they're not familiar with their surroundings, sometimes puppies shut down or they get fearful if they don't know what to do. The next step is to bite. And so, in that case, they will bite instead of becoming a little bit more mouthy. So you want to take that into consideration in addition to your puppy being overexciting. So you probably are thinking, okay, well, I know my puppy's nipping. I've probably been bit like a few times. What can we do about this, right? All right. So let me tell you what you could do about your puppies being a little bit too nippy. So essentially, what you want to do if you're talking about a puppy that has become a little bit mouthy or has bitten because they are fearful, depending on where they are in their puppy stage, you can continue to try to give them new experiences and socialize them so that they are less fearful around new surroundings so that they're not becoming more mouthy or biting or things like that. So just get them around new experiences and things like that. But of course, if it is a true bite and things like that, you always want to reach out to a professional to talk about the next steps. Ideally, what you want to do if it's a true situation where your puppy is just overexcited because they're overstimulated or whatever it may be, what you want to do, you have to teach them that, hey, I'm not the person to become mouthy with and play or just in general. So what you want to do is, what you want to do when they come mouthy, soon as you feel any type of pressure or whether it hurts, you just want to jerk away and say, ouch, really loudly, because that does a startle effect, kind of like, hey, and the dogs are usually like that. And you want to redirect your dog with what you want them to mouth or chew on and things like that, because essentially they are doing it because they don't know what to do. So it's up to us as dog owners to teach our puppies what to chew on and stuff like that, so they're not being mouthy and biting us and things of such. So that will help your puppy have a better understanding of what is undesirable for them not to chew on versus what you want them to kind of mouth and stuff on instead of for them biting and stuff like that. Um, The next thing you can do if your puppy becomes mouthy and stuff like that, I already mentioned redirecting your puppy, but you also want to make sure that you redirect them with things essentially that they're becoming mouthy with. So I always talk about this in our private consultations and private training, is that if your puppies are becoming mouthy and things like that, yes, you want to redirect them to teach them appropriate things to chew on and be mouthy with or nip or whatever they're doing, but you also want to simulate the texture in which they are trying to become mouthy with. So for instance, I hear a lot, oh, when I'm walking or even when the kids are walking, the puppy will come clench onto their clothes and things like that. So if the dog is clenching onto clothes, you think about clothes, they're very soft. So maybe you want to use like a tug rope, not that you want to do tug with them and increase like the excitement, but give that to them because that's kind of like the texture of clothing. Or you can give them like an old piece of clothing or whatever, just let them chew on. Likewise, if they're chewing on like a pillow in your home or that's on your couch, you want to give them something soft like a stuffed toy to chew on as well. So you want to make sure that when you redirect them, you're redirecting them with things that actually they're going to engage with for a long time. So you're teaching them like, hey, you don't chew on this or do this, you do that instead. Last but not least, if you're concerned, because a lot of times I'll get the calls like, okay, well, my puppy's nipping me, I think, but I don't know if it's biting. If you have a concern whether if the puppy biting or nipping continues, because after it goes beyond the puppy stage and it turns into adult biting, that's no more puppy biting anymore. That's a whole nother realm of things. So while your puppy is young, if you have any type of concerns that it may not be what it is, or your puppy is showing signs of aggression, or it's becoming dangerous in a sense that you don't feel safe in your home, you always want to seek out help from a professional trainer like myself or a veterinarian, because sometimes puppies may become nippy because they're just not feeling well. They may have illness. Even in the dog trainer world, we learn first to rule out any type of medical issues. So you always want to start there. But essentially, if your puppies are nipping, it's all part of the natural developmental process with puppies, but you just want to redirect them and teach them appropriate things to chew on. Also, making sure that you're I'm just wrapping up, making sure that you're simulating a texture that you want your puppy to chew on as well. And as always, if you have any concerns or you're unsure of what the puppy biting is, or if it has progressed, feel free to reach out to a trainer like myself. So I hope this has given you some insight as to why puppies nip, what to do about it, and how to move forward. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can message me, email me at Down for Paws. But as always, if you are not able to get to your phone, you can always, if you're a podcast person, love to drive and listen like myself, you can always find me at on all those like Spotify, Stitcher, at Positive Dog Training Convos. Other than that, enjoy your week, and I will see you next week with another great topic. All right, bye.